Hello YouTube, Crazy Robot Lady here. Welcome to day 14 of Let's Get to Know 1986 Playmates Cricket. As you can tell, the Playmates crew is back together again. I got tired of them being all over my blooming bed. And I can't go on with the adventures of Teddy Ruxpin right now because I don't have Adventures 5 and 6, and I've also got to ship off my Ibo, Ibo and part of another Ibo. So I'm a bit sparse in the video content at the moment, but after this one, we will have one more cricket adventure before they will pause again. And I wanted to introduce a new series, if I can get it to work. I'm going to call it Jill Free Will. And we will revisit our awesome girl right here to my right, your left, I think. Playmates Jill. But instead of interacting with her this go round, I'm not going to do a blooming thing. I might even leave. I don't know. And she is going to choose her own adventure story. So anyway, hope you all will be looking forward to that. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for taking me to 435, I believe. If I had your names, I would give you a public shout out, but I have somehow missed them, so welcome. If you want to see a particular robot, please comment in one of my videos. I say one of my videos because a lot of times YouTube will turn my comments off. I am not doing this, I promise. But comment somewhere recent, and I will do a video on said robot. Just tell me what you want to know. If I still own it, I will record it. So anyway, let's join Cricket in, ow, let's lean her back some. She looks a little hunchbacked or something. Anyway, let's join Cricket in School Time.
You're the very most fun I've ever found, and you're my friend. Hi, this is Cricket talking to ya. Do you go to school? I do. I'm in the first grade now. Last year, I went to kindergarten, and the year before that, I went to learn and play preschool. You know what? School is fun. I like to learn about numbers and the letters of the alphabet, and I like recess too, because that's when I get to play with my friends. Let's pretend we're in school right now. It's easy. All you need is some paper and something to write with. If you know how to write your name, put it at the top of the page. Then practice writing some of the letters and numbers you know. While you do that, I'll sing a song about how much I like school. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. School's a wonderful place to be. 3, 2, 1, see us run. Time for school and school is fun. Mary had a little lamb who knew just where to go. He followed her to school one day. No, he's the smartest lamb I know. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. School's a wonderful place to be. 3, 2, 1, see us run. Time for school and school is fun. Reading, writing, arithmetic, music and history. School can help you to become whatever you want to be. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. School's a wonderful place to be. 3, 2, 1, see us started kindergarten last year. I was so excited. I could hardly sleep the night before. I gotta admit though, when my mom dropped me off in her car, I was a little scared. But then my new teacher was so nice, and I made so many new friends, I didn't want to go home when school was over. Well, this year, I started first grade. And you know what? It was even more exciting than kindergarten, because I got to walk to school all by myself. My mom said if I wanted, she'd walk with me. But I said, no, that's okay, Mom. It's only 2 blocks. I can walk by myself. The first day of school, I got up so early, no one else was awake yet. I jumped out of bed and put on my brand new school outfit. Then I ran in the kitchen and packed my brand new lunchbox. Then I ran to my mom's bedroom, but picture this, she was still asleep. Wake up, Mom, I said. It's time for me to leave. It's too early, Cricket, my mom said. But I don't want to be late, I said. Then I kissed my mom goodbye and ran out the door and started on my way to school. But I only got half a block before I heard someone say, wait a minute, Cricket. It was Mrs. Gillis, one of our neighbors. What is it, Mrs. Gillis, I said. My little kitty is stuck in a tree, Mrs. Gillis said. Will you help me get him down? But what time is it, I said. I don't want to be late for school. Don't worry, Cricket, said Mrs. Gillis. It's only 8:15. You won't be late. Well, it took about forever to get the kitty down, but I finally did. I had to climb way up high in the tree, catch the little kitty, and climb all the way back down. Then I said goodbye to Mrs. Gillis and started on my way to school again. But I only got to the stop sign at the corner before I heard someone say, wait a minute, Cricket. It was Mrs. Myerson, our school crossing guard. What is it, Mrs. Myerson, I said. There's a big moving van headed this way, said Mrs. Myerson. You'll have to wait till it goes by. Well, what time is it, I said. I don't want to be late for school. Don't worry, Cricket, said Mrs. Myerson. It's only 8:30. You won't be late. Well, it took about forever for the moving van to get by, but it finally did. That moving van was so long, the driver had to back up and turn around 10 times. Then I said goodbye to Mrs. Myerson and started on my way to school again. But I only got another half a block before I heard someone say, wait a minute, Cricket. It was Cindy Lou, the new little girl on our street. What is it, Cindy Lou, I said. You look like you're going to school, said Cindy Lou. Will you wait and let me walk with you? But what time is it, I said. I don't want to be late for school. Don't worry, Cricket, said Cindy Lou. It's only 8:45. You won't be late. Well, it took about forever for Cindy Lou to get ready, but finally she did. She had to change her clothes and comb her hair and pack her lunch and say goodbye to her mom. Then I started on my way to school again with Cindy Lou. And this time I got all the way. But as soon as I walked through the gate, I heard someone say, wait a minute, Cricket. It was Mrs. Warren, my teacher from kindergarten. Hello, Mrs. Warren, I said. Am I late? No, Cricket, you're not late, Mrs. Warren said. You're a whole day early. Oh, no, I said. Now I remember. Kindergarten always starts a day before everybody else. That's right, Cricket, Mrs. Warren said. First grade starts tomorrow. So Cindy Lou and I called our moms and told them what had happened. Then we went to the park and played on the swings and ate our lunches. And then we went home. And then the next morning, guess what? I started all over again. Was that a silly story or what? One of my favorite things to do in school is arithmetic.
Okay, I have to insert a story here. I did something similar to this, believe it or not. I did. Only I wasn't a kid. I was 19 years old, okay? And I was starting college. Oh man. I had a dream, okay? I was really nervous, very, very nervous about starting at Spartanburg Community College. So I woke up And I thought that I was really, really late for school because I dreamed that the bus left already, or was going to, or something. So I jumped up and got ready and and ate breakfast. I mean, I toasted a little waffle and put some peanut butter on it, folded it in half and said, and like 4 bites it was gone, and I let out this horrendous belch. Luckily I was the only one in my room. And so then I got my book bag and my computer and all that crap together and ran out into the hallway and went to go sit on the bench in the lobby. That's where we waited for the bus. It was very, very loud. It was one of those blooming diesel things that rattled the windows. So here I am. Miss Reese, our morning shift counselor, comes out of her office with a cup of coffee, and she's all, and then she looks over. Oh, hi Leslie. Hi Miss Reese. Where is everybody? Am I late? No, baby. It's 4:30. Oh. Yeah. So, I went back to bed, but I didn't undress. I just threw my backpack on the floor and put my shoes on top of it. I didn't really sleep because I was worried I'd have that dream again. So, the school jitters, guys, they don't go away in first grade. They don't even go away in the beginning of college. Okay, let's resume.
One of my favorite things to do in school is arithmetic. I especially like to add numbers together. So I'm going to sing a song about some ducks. And we're going to add up how many ducks there are. When I ask you how many ducks on the pond, see if you can say the right answer. Listen carefully. Here we go. One little duck swimming on a pond, wondering what to do. When another little duck just happened along, and then there were two. One little duck and one little duck makes how many ducks on the pond?
2.
The answer is 2 ducks. 1 and 1 makes 2. 2 little ducks swimming on a pond. Now add a couple more. 'Cause 2 more ducks just happened along, and then there were 4. 2 little ducks and 2 little ducks makes how many ducks on the pond?
4.
I hope you said 4 ducks. 2 and 2 makes 4. 4 little ducks swimming on a pond. It was getting rather late when 4 more ducks just happened along, and then there were 8. 4 little ducks and 4 little ducks makes how many ducks on the pond?
8.
The answer is 8 ducks. 4 and 4 makes 8. 8 little ducks swimming on a pond, and that's all the ducks there were. 'Cause 8 and 8 makes 16 ducks, and that's too many, I'm sure. Quack, quack. Was that a funny song or what? Another one of my favorite times at school is story time. That's when we get to read the books in our library. And sometimes our teacher reads the whole class a story out loud. Here's one we heard last week. I hope you like it. Once upon a time, there was a funny little elf called Rumpelstiltskin, and a little girl who spun straw into gold. Now, spinning straw into gold may sound impossible, but this little girl was very smart. So smart, in fact, that her father was always bragging about her. My daughter is so smart, he would say. She can say the alphabet backwards. And my daughter is so smart, he would say. She can add and subtract at the same time. And my daughter is so smart, he would say. She can make up a rhyme about anything. One day, the king came to town looking for a smart person to do a very special job, so the father introduced the king to his daughter, and the king said, "Can you really say the alphabet backwards?" "Sure can," said the little girl. "Z-Y-X-W-V-U-T. SRQPONMOK, JIHGFED, CBA. Amazing, said the king. Can you really add and subtract at the same time? Sure can, said the little girl. 9 plus 9 minus 5 equals 13. Amazing, said the king. Can you really make up a rhyme about anything? Sure can, said the little girl. Fiddly-dum, fiddly-dee. Don't you think I'm as smart as can be? Amazing, said the king. You are smart, and you're just the person I need to do my very special job. Will you come to the palace? The little girl's father said she could go, so she combed her hair and put on her best dress, and then she packed a lot of books in her backpack, because you never know when you might need a good book. Then the little girl headed straight for the palace. When she got there, the king led her to a tiny room high up in a tower. The little girl looked in the room, and guess what she saw? You guessed it, straw! Piles and piles of straw. The only other thing in the whole room was an old spinning wheel. I want you to spin all this straw into gold, said the king. I'll be back in the morning to see how you've done. And then he left. Spin straw into gold, said the little girl to herself. How am I ever going to do that? But she sat down at the spinning wheel anyway and tried all the smart things she knew. First, she said the alphabet backwards. Z-Y-X-W-V-U-T, S-R-Q-P-O-N-M-O-K, J-I-H-G-F-E-D, C-B-A. But nothing happened. Then she tried adding and subtracting at the same time. 9 plus 9 minus 5 equals 13. But nothing happened. Then she tried making up a rhyme about her problem. Fiddly-dum, I've never been told how to spin straw into gold. And then all of a sudden, something did happen. A funny little elf appeared right before her eyes. Well, my little chickadee, he said, it looks like you're in a pickle, and I'm just the elf who can help. I know how to spin straw into gold. Oh, please help me, said the little girl. I'll help you, said the elf, on one condition. Guess my name by the time I finish, or all the gold will turn back into straw. And then the elf laughed. Hee 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 hee. You'll never guess in a zillion years. So the funny little elf sat right down and began spinning straw into gold. He spun so fast, the little girl didn't know how she would ever figure out his name in time. But then she had an idea. I'll look in a book, she said to herself. And she took her books out of her backpack and began to look through them. Her math book didn't help, and her history book didn't help, and even her geography book didn't help. But then she took out her best and biggest book of all, her encyclopedia. She opened it to the page that said elves, and there were hundreds of elves listed. There were elves that fly, and elves that don't fly, elves that live under mushrooms, and elves that live in condos. Finally, she found it. Elves that spin straw into gold. And right there was her elf's name. Just as the very last piece of straw was turned into gold, the little girl closed her encyclopedia and said, Aha! I've got it! Your name is Rumpelstiltskin! How did you guess? How did you guess? Said the elf. Why, your name was right here in a book, said the little girl. Most everything you need to know is in books, if you know how to look. Can I look at your book? Said the elf. Sure, said the little girl. Books are for everybody, and they're a smart person's best friend. Was that a smart little girl, or what? Remember that song I sang about school being fun? Well, I'm going to sing it again, and I'd like you to sing it with me. Here's how it goes. First, you count forward. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. School's a wonderful place to be. Then you count backwards. 3, 2, 1, see us run. Time for school, and school is fun. Now I'm going to sing it all the way through. I hope you'll sing along. Remember,
This is a weird
first you count
spot on this
forward.
tape, but it'll
Here we
straighten
go.
out.
1, 2, 3, A, B, C. School's a wonderful place to be. 3, 2, 1, see us run. Time for school, and school is fun. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. School's a wonderful place to be. 3, 2, 1, see us run. Time for school, and school is fun. If you want to keep playing school, you can turn my tape over now. I know lots more stories and games and songs, or you can just talk
Now this outfit is gonna be challenging to get into. Oh, it was so challenging to put together. Oh. Okay, lady. Unlock the suspenders. Undo the nicely tucked shirt. Very carefully pull open the Velcro thingy. She's losing the one on her right. Flip over the tape. Fight the prongs. Lift up that very tightly fitting shirt. Replace the Velcro thingies. Tuck shirt back into skirt, but not into the pantaloons or whatever those are. Reach up underneath skirt and straighten out shirt from beneath so that it's not wrinkled anywhere else. Replace the suspenders. They're looking enormously loose for some reason, even though I did not leave them that way. Okay, there's one. Let's fix the other one. No, not that way. Come on. There we go. All right. Actually, this one's on the wrong side of the split. Sorry, I'm very precise about these things, and when they're not precise, they drive me crazy. Even though I am the only one that can see them. Oh dear. Thank you. Cricket, my dear. I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have floppy suspenders. Okay, straighten out skirt. So she doesn't look so much like a hooch. And replace. And lay her back just a little so everybody can see her lovely face. All right, resume.
When the teacher asks a question and you know the answer, what do?
You raise your hand.
Right, you raise your hand. I know a fun song about raising your hand, and you can help me sing it. When I get to the part where I sing, I raise my hand, you raise your hand up in the air, and then put it back down. Ready? Here goes. Teacher asked if anyone knew just how much is 2 and 2. 2 and 2 is 4, I know, but what do I do to tell her? So I raise my came, I had to find my sweater. So by the time I got outside, my friend Morgan was already playing with a big rubber ball. "Hey, Cricket," said Morgan, "come and play with me." "In a minute," I said. "I want to go find Raymond." I looked all around the playground, but I couldn't see him anywhere. Then suddenly, zoom, he came running out from behind a tree. He grabbed the ball from Morgan and ran off with it. "That was mean," said Morgan. "I sure don't like that new kid." "Give him a chance," I said. "We might like him once we get to know him." "No way," said Morgan. When lunchtime came, I ate my sandwich and my apple and drank my milk. And then I went outside to look for Raymond again. But first I saw Gary and George building a sandcastle. "Hey, Cricket," said Gary, "come and play with us." "In a minute," I said. "I want to go find Raymond." I looked all around the playground, but I didn't see him anywhere. Then suddenly, zoom, he came running out from behind the jungle gym. He kicked in the sandcastle and ran off. "That was really mean," said Gary. "Yeah," said George. "I sure don't like that new kid." "Give him a chance," I said. "We might like him once we get to know him." "No way," said Gary and George. As soon as school was over, I packed up my book and went looking for Raymond again. Out on the grass in front of school, Vicky and Eddie and Colby were practicing handstands. "Hey, Cricket," said Vicky, "come and play with us." "In a minute," I said. "I want to go find Raymond." I looked all around in front of school, but I didn't see him anywhere. And suddenly, zoom, he came running out from behind the building. He pushed Vicky down and ran off. "That was meaner than mean," said Vicky. "Yeah," said Eddie. "I sure don't like that new kid." "Give him a chance," I called as I ran after Raymond. "We might like him once we get to know him." "No way," shouted Vicky and Eddie and Colby. Well, I looked for about an hour, and finally I found Raymond, sitting all alone under the jungle gym. "Hi, Raymond," I said. He looked kind of surprised. You remember my name," he said. "Sure," I said. "My name's Cricket. Glad to meet ya." "Gee," said Raymond, "I didn't think anybody would be glad to meet me." "Is that why you did all those things?" I said. "Uh-huh," said Raymond. "I was afraid no one would be my friend." "Why do you feel like that?" I said. Raymond thought about it for a minute, and then he said, "All of you have been friends for a long time, and I just got here. Who's going to be my friend?" "I will," I said. "Let's walk home together." And so we did, and I got to know Raymond. And the next day, when we walked to school together, I got to know Raymond even better. Then Morgan and Gary and George and Vicky and Eddie and Colby all got to know Raymond too. And guess what? Everybody liked him. And guess who got the most Valentines on Valentine's Day? Why, Raymond, of course. Was that a happy ending or what? When I went to school today, I took 3 things that are spelled almost the same. Let's play a spelling game and see if you can figure out what I took. Here's how it works. I'll say I went to school and took a C. What did I take? Then you say a C. Then I'll say I went to school and took a CA. What did I take? And you say a CA. Let's try it. Here we go. I went to school and took a C. What did I take?
A C.
I went to school and took a CA. What did I take?
A CA.
I went to school and took a CAT. What did I take?
A CAT. A cat.
That's right. I took my CAT. I took my cat to school with me. Cat is spelled CAT. Let's do another one. I went to school and took an H. What did I take?
An H.
I went to school and took an HA. What did I take?
An HA.
I went to school and took an HAT. What did I take?
A hat.
That's right. I took my HAT to school today. I took my hat. Hat is spelled HAT. That was fun. Let's do another one. I went to school and took a B. What did I take?
A B.
I went to school and took a BA. What did I take?
A BA. I have
I
one
went
of
to
those.
school and took a BAT. What did I take?
A bat.
Right, I took my BAT to school today. I took my bat to school today because I wanted to play baseball. Bat is spelled BAT. Are you a good speller or what? Now it's time for a history lesson. I like history. It's fun to learn stories and songs about things that really happened.
Actually, I did too.
Here's a song people sang in the early days of our country, even before George Washington became the first president. It's called Yankee Doodle. If you know it, sing and march along with me. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. There goes Captain Washington upon a slappy stallion, giving orders to his men. I guess there was a million. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Was that a fun history lesson or what?
Yeah.
Storybook adventures, they're the greatest kind. There's no end to all the fun you'll find. You can have adventures and still be safe at home with a storybook adventure of your own. This is a story about a little grasshopper and a little ant who both lived in my backyard. Every morning they went to school, just like me. The ant, his name was Arnie, was an A student because he studied very hard and always did his homework. But Bopper the grasshopper never studied, never did his homework, and never got any A's. So one day I said to Arnie and Bopper, "Why don't you two try doing your homework together? That way, Bopper might do better in school." "Fine with me," said Arnie. "Let's start right now." "No," said Bopper. "Let's start tomorrow instead." The next morning, Arnie woke up bright and early, as usual, and Bopper woke up late, as usual. "Come on, Bopper," said Arnie. "Let's get started for school. It's 8 long blocks, you know." So Arnie and Bopper went off to school, and they counted the blocks as they went. 1 block, said Arnie. 2 blocks, said Bopper. 3 blocks, said Arnie. 5 blocks, said Bopper. 5 blocks, said Arnie. "What do you mean, 5 blocks?" 1, 2, 3, 5, said Bopper. 1, 2, 3, 4, said Arnie. "If you've done your homework last night like Cricket said, I bet you know how to count better." Then they counted together all the way up to 8 and arrived at school on time. After school, Arnie and Bopper started on their way back home. "Hey, Arnie," said Bopper, "let's stop at the store first and buy an orange to eat." So Arnie and Bopper stopped at the grocery store. "How much does this orange cost?" Bopper asked Arnie. 13 cents, said Arnie. "Aw, gee," said Bopper, "I only have 6 cents. Do you have 13 cents? "No," said Arnie, "but I do have 7 cents. "Let's see," said Bopper. 6 and 7 make, 11 cents. "No, they don't," said Arnie. 6 and 7 make 13. If you've done your homework last night like Cricket said, I bet you'd know how to add better. Then Arnie added their money together and bought an orange, and they shared it on the way home. When they got home, Arnie went inside to do his homework. "Aren't you coming, Bopper?" said Arnie. "No," said Bopper. "I want to go to the movies first. I'll do my homework later." So Arnie went in to study, and Bopper went off to the movies. "I think I better take the bus," said Bopper. "Bus number 32 goes right by the movies." Then along came a bus, but it was number 23. 32, said Bopper, and then he got on. But when the bus went to a part of town he didn't know, Bopper got worried. "Isn't this bus number 32, he asked the driver. "No," said the driver. "It's the 23 bus. You must have mixed up the 2 and the 3. Now you'll have to take the number 16. So Bopper got off. Then along came another, but it was bus number 19. 16, said Bopper, and then he got on. But when the bus got to another part of town he didn't know, Bopper got even more worried. "Isn't this bus number 16, he asked the driver. "No," said the driver. 'Cause I've learned that if you keep putting things off, you never get them done. Bopper, I'm proud of you, said Arnie. That's an important lesson to learn. And besides, said Bopper, the sooner I get my homework done, the more time I have to play. Was that grasshopper smart or what? Gosh, I sure had a good time spending the day at school with you.
Come on, lady. I know.
I'm so glad you're my friend.
I know. You only got a little bit left.
You're the best fun I've ever found.
I'll change your battery.
You're my friend.
Sorry, guys.
You're especially nice to be around, and you're my friend. I'm so happy I got a pal to tell my feelings to. No one else means more to me than you. I'll tell you stories and I'll make you laugh, 'cause you're my friend. When we share, you can always have the biggest laugh, 'cause you're my friend. Some folks think
Cricket, you've got terrible gas, dear.
I just wanna say, are you great or what? What a playmate you've been, thanks for being my friend. If you have, you can tell it's over now. Or you can just think of some things we can do together. Anyway, just remember, you're my friend, and I'll be talking to ya.
Ah! Oh, no. Ah! It's
2:37 p.m.
2:37. I've got maybe an hour or two before church is over, or before church starts. Oh no. Oh, I wish my battery charger would hurry up. No, now I can't keep going with Cricket either. Ah! Anyway, I was gonna start with Jill this Monday, but her D batteries are dead, and when I went to charge them, I discovered my charger was dead. Well, I have Corky's 9-volt battery somewhere, so maybe I'll be able to keep going. Anyway, guys, I'm so sorry about the ending of this, but she made it, gassy or no. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you will know whenever I upload new content. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. Ow.